Unit 2, page 19. Exercise 3.
Speaker 1.
I know most people believe that men and women think very differently from each other. They usually say that women are more emotional than men and care more about other people, but men are better at keeping a clear head and making important decisions. And they quote examples of this typical male and typical female behaviour. But as far as I'm concerned, this is too simple. I could give lots of examples of men who are very caring and emotional, and women who are efficient decision makers. I just don't think you can generalise this much about what men and women are like.
Speaker 2.
I read an article in a magazine the other day which questioned the idea that men and women's brains are different. Apparently, a university professor has done a study looking at the structure of men's and women's brains, and she's found that there is no biological evidence to support the idea that the way they think is different. I must say, I really find that impossible to accept. I mean, it's okay studying brains in a laboratory, but you just have to look at how differently men and women behave in everyday situations to know that they're completely different.
Speaker 3.
It's an interesting question. If you watch how people behave, you can definitely see differences between men and women. Take one example, driving. If a man and a woman are in a car together, it's almost always the man who's driving. If you ask women why this is, they'll tell you it doesn't matter to them whether they drive or not. The implication is that men are unhappy unless they're in control, and women are happy to let men be in control. So, yes, I'd say they think differently. But how does this come about? Is it a question of genes or upbringing?
Speaker 4.
As I see it, it's purely down to how people are brought up, and there's no denying that girls and boys are treated differently in the family. Different things are expected of them. Mothers often spoil their sons, doing everything for them, while they expect their daughters to help around the house and babysit their younger brothers and sisters. This is why boys end up believing that they're the important ones, and why girls accept caring roles. In the end, the men and women they become think differently because they see the world from different points of view.
Speaker 5.
As a primary school teacher working with young children, I can honestly say that when they first arrive at the school, there's very little difference between boys and girls in the way they think or the way they behave. But the differences start to develop quite soon. Mainly, I think, because the younger children want to fit in with the older children in the school, who have already established a pattern of behaviour. For some reason, boys feel the need to compete with each other, and girls prefer just to get on with each other. Are these innate differences that they were born with, or are they picked up because children need to fit into the school environment?